What do you want to talk about?
Wrestling! And here!
Wrestling?
Why?
It's wrestling.
It's wrestling.
Why? Why?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Why not? Why not?
It's fake.
Fake? What the hell are you talking about? Fake? It's not fake.
Fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
Okay, wrestling.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's episode of Wrestling Gold Friday Night. Yes, boys and girls, we have made it to Friday night. Sorry, doing some little bit of adjusting here. Hopefully, everybody had a great week and stay hydrated. Speaking of staying hydrated, you know what time it is. Time to go. There we go. It's been a little top was being a little stubborn on me, but you gotta show it who's boss. So, hey, those in the chat, if you're drinking up with me, having a drink with me right now, let me know what you're drinking right now. I'm doing Miller High Life right now. So, yes, cheers to all those hardworking men and women. Let's get going at it. Let's enjoy the weekend. So, yes, you folks know what to do, or you folks know what day of the week it is. It is Friday. This is Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where we talk about the good old days of professional wrestling, back when wrestling was wrestling and wrestling was real. Because damn it, it's still real to us. So if you're on Facebook Live, hit me up in the comments. If you're on YouTube, hit me up in the chat. Mountain Dew diet. Hey, at least it's something. It's refreshing, ain't it? Excuse me. Um, yeah, hit me up in the comments. Uh, give me that like button, help your boy out, and also subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Click on that subscribe button. Follow me on Facebook, wherever you want to do. Let's see, we got that out of the way. Yeah, I'm going to try to go through this kind of quickly. This is opening segment. Oh yeah, business about to pick up. Quickly, all right, got some good news and some bad. So last night, I did say, and I'm still going with it. Um, next Friday, not doing it. Next Friday, no Wrestling Gold Friday night. Instead, Thursday, I thought we'll do a live watch along of the Great American Bash 1986. I thought it would be on the Peacock. Went to the Peacock channel. the WWE portion, and I did not see it on there. I think the earliest they got is 1980. So I went on YouTube. I was like, well, maybe somebody put it up on YouTube. Nah, it's not on YouTube. But have no fear. Let's see. I gotta remember the date of it. Um, I did get a bash card from 1986. Forget the date it was, but the main event is Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes World Championship in a cage. I believe it's in Greensboro. I think it's that one. So, I did find it. I did download it. So, uh, between now and at least Thursday, Wednesday, possibly, if you're planning on joining me live here, let me know and I will send you the download. Otherwise, that night, if you pop it up on here, um, I'll just share the link to that Great American Bash card. And because remember, they kind of did, back in those days, it was the Great American Bash Tour '86, where they went to Charlotte, Greensboro, Atlanta, St. Louis, I think, like that. Um, so yeah, so I do got that. I wish I wrote it down, but I forgot to write it down. Uh, but I do got a Great American Bash card in 1986. So like I said, hit me up in my DMs of your email address if you're planning on watching me live, and I will send the download to you. Otherwise, I will share the link that day or that evening. Um, so yes, that is still on. See, try not to let you folks down. Good boys on top of it. So yeah, I got kind of worried, and thank you Google. Uh, but I did find somewhere where they had it. I downloaded it. Uh, so from what I've seen so far, because I didn't want to watch the whole thing, but from what I've seen of it, yeah, it's all intact, commercial free, all for us to watch. Goes better with Taco Bell. Oh my gosh, I can't eat Taco Bell. That stuff's nasty. Hello, Brenda Watson. But yeah, so that's the update on Thursday night's Great American Bash watch along. What else we got going on? I didn't do this last week. Let me go ahead and do this week as well. We do have a start time for the Georgia Alabama game. So, yeah, I ain't really promoted this last couple of weeks, but it is September 27th to 2025. Georgia, Alabama, uh, at UGA. I think I think the kickoff is 7:30, but we're going to start earlier. I'll actually be a guest of Kat Karen. Um, it'll be on her Facebook channel, Facebook exclusive live. So check it out on there. So next time you see her on there on chat or something like that, hit her up. She'll let you follow or befriend you and all that. Be able to watch. She'll do a live stream football game between Alabama Crimson Tide and the good guys, the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's just call it that. Not that I'm being biased or anything, just a little bit biased. Of course, I'm saying all that. There we go. I'm just being a little bit biased. Now you can see how much bias I'll be showing in that game. So but yeah, we'll start a little bit earlier. Do a little intro. You know how it goes. Um, because we don't want to press play and kick off and want to get everything running smoothly. So hopefully, should be lots of fun. Lots of fun. Let's see. Yeah, let me. Um, like I said, this week's watch along is WCW Saturday Night from 1992. About an hour 25 minutes is what the little clock said. So they're going to kind of rush through first portion of this, which is today in wrestling history. Yes, today is June 27th, 2025, and on this date in that's right, on this date, 1972, the WWF Tag Team Championship changed hands in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, when Professor Tanaka and Mr. Fuji defeated Chief J Strongbow and Sonny King. Uh, Fuji and Tanaka, man, they were probably the top tag team, or if not one of the top tag teams in the WWF at the time, multi-time tag team champions. Uh, on this date in 1975, Dick Slater and Bob Orton Jr. Won the NWA Georgia Tag Team titles, taking them away from Bob Armstrong and Robert Fuller in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Municipal Auditorium. Gosh, I wish I was alive during those days. On this date, 1977, Sylvester Ritter defeated Ken Dillinger. This was a card in Memphis, Tennessee. Of course, Sylvester Ritter will become the Junkyard Dog. Other matches included Bobby Bold Eagle and Jim Garvin defeated the Exterminators. Bill Hickerson and Dennis Condrey defeated Tommy Rich and Tommy Gilbert in a loser leaves town versus title match to win the Southern Tag Team titles. Superstar Bill Dundee defeated Bad Leroy Brown in a steel cage match. Southern champion Paul Orndorff defeated Radom Radamusis, whatever. Not that familiar with his career. Uh, Main event was Jerry Lawler defeated Rocky Johnson in a belt on a pole match. On this date in 1978, Robert Lee Vaughn of Bowling Green, Kentucky, files charges against Tojo Yamamoto for hitting him in the head with his wooden shoe at a wrestling show in Beach Bend Park. The case was settled in 1980 when Tojo Yamamoto was found not guilty. Also on this date, 1978, the Spoilers, John Jardine, the original, and Bobby Duncombe defeated Jack and Jerry Briscoe to win the Florida Tag Team titles in Tampa, Florida. On this date in 1981, Nikolai Volkov and Chris Markov, managed by Lord Alfred Hayes, defeated Dewey Robertson and Johnny Weaver to win the NWA Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Championship. Of course, Dewey Robertson grew up to become the missing link. We actually got to see him in action last week on the WWA card, I believe. Kind of impressive. I think I had seen a question the other day. It's like, who's a wrestler you didn't like but kind of grew to like? Like, surprisingly, I kind of took Dewey Robertson as Dewey Robertson, not missing link, but he probably cashed in big time and took a little less bumps being a missing link than he did being Dewey Robertson. Also in 1981 in St. Petersburg, Florida, at the Bayfront Center, the Assassin defeated Sweet Brown Sugar in a mass versus mass match. Texas Death Match, Sweet Brown Sugar was a mass and was revealed to be Skip Young. On this date in 1988 in Memphis, Tennessee, Billy Travis and very young Scott Steiner defeated Don Bass and Gary Young to win the CWA Tag Team titles. Max Payne defeated Rick Callis Brown to win the CWA title. AWA Heavyweight Champion Jerry Lawler battled Kerry Von Erich to a double count. Also in 1988, speaking of the Great American Bash, Jim Crockett Promotions presented the Great American Bash Tour in Greenville, South Carolina, at the Memorial Auditorium, drawing 4,700. This is also part of a TV taping. Included in this was a little concert by David Allen Coe. It was about an hour before the show. Wilbur Steiner defeated Ivan Koloff by disqualification. Larry Zbyszko and Al Perez defeated Kendall Windham and the Italian Stallion. But I believe this is that same match. Kevin Sullivan and Rick Steiner defeated Jimmy Garvin and Chris Champion. The infamous part, look it up on YouTube. The infamous part in this match, Chris Champion right there did the crane kick to Rick Steiner. Very snug. Let's just say that. Very hard. Upside Rick Steiner's head. Rick Steiner didn't appreciate that, so he took his freaking head off with a clothesline. Let's just say that. Uh, he got stiff right. He sent some receipts and lots of taters after that kick. But it's on YouTube. It's talked about. Check it out. The Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton, Stan Lane defeated the Lightning Express, Brad Armstrong and Tim Horner by count out. NWA United States Tag Team Champions, the Fantastics, Bobby Holt and Tommy Rogers, defeated the Sheepers, not the Bushwhackers. They weren't the Bushwhackers yet. They were the Sheepers. Luke Williams and Butch Miller. Steve Williams fought NWA TV champion Mike Rotundo to 20-minute Broadway. The Road Warriors, Animal Hawk, defeated Ivan Koloff and the Russian Assassin. The Russian Assassin at this point was a man by the name of Dave Sheldon, probably more famous by being called the Angel of Death. This was a Skyfall match. No, I don't think I would do that match, especially if I was losing. I'm gonna take that bump. All right, in the main event that night, it was Dusty Rhodes, Lex Luger, Nikita Koloff, and Sting fought Ric Flair, Barry Windham, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, the Four Horsemen, to a double countout. On this date in 1998, Rob Van Dam and Sabu defeated Chris Candido and Lance Storm to win the ECW Tag Team Championship. Also, on this date in 1999, the WWF presented King of the Ring pay-per-view in Greensboro, North Carolina at the Greensboro Coliseum, drawing 19,761. In a dark match, Meat, John Stasiak defeated Kurt Angle. Matt and Jeff Hardy battled Edge and Christian to a no contest. Median was Dennis Knight, and Viscera beat Big Boss Man in a handicap match. Prince Albert defeated Val Venus. Of course, Prince Albert is Matt Bloom, the head trainer of the WWE now. Ken Shamrock defeated Shane McMahon by disqualification. X-Pac defeated Bob Holly by disqualification. Kane defeated the Big Show. Billy Gunn defeated Ken Shamrock when the referee stopped the match. Road Dogg pinned China. Yeah, Matt and Jeff Hardy beat Edge and Christian. I'm trying to figure out why it's a double bill like that, but well. Billy Gunn pinned Kane. X-Pac pinned Road Dogg. WWF champion Undertaker defeated The Rock to keep the championship. Billy Gunn won the King of the Ring by defeating X-Pac. Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon defeated Steve Austin in a handicap ladder match for the control of the company. Whew. Try to get that. got through that kinda quickly. Cheers. Um, actually, I do remember that pay-per-view. Usually the king of ringing at that time was to elevate a performer, uh, especially it was used when, it was used when Bret Hart won it. Bret Hart won it, then he went on to become the world champion. The next year, Owen Hart won it, or when it was on especially when it was on pay-per-view. Pay-per-view. Owen Hart won it the next year. He had some great matches with his brother Bret for that world championship. Of course, it shot, Steve Austin to the moon. I guess Triple H won the following year, 8 maybe, I think, 'cause or 96. 'Cause the year Steve Austin won, Triple H was supposed to win, but the whole current call thing kinda put him in the doghouse. But then, Billy Gunn won this year or in '99, and I think all he got was the Intercontinental Championship that year. Then re uh, re-partnered up with Road Dogg to be the New Age Outlaws and won another tag team title. But that's concludes today in wrestling history. Shut that off now. There you go. All right. We're ready for a little watch along. We're going to 1992 WCW, and from what I think this is when Bill Watts took over as vice president of WCW. I do remember this time because, and I heard Bill Watts was coming in. Of course, if you watch any of my stuff, I was a huge fan of the Mid South UWF stuff. And of course, Bill Watts was the president and owner of that, the final say in that company. So I was super excited to see him coming in. I'm like, all right, we're, we're going to get some good stuff here. So I didn't watch this complete program, but I did watch uh, a little bit trying to see what they have. But they have highlights of a match with Steve Dr. Death Williams and Terry Gordy, who is the Miracle Violence Connection in Japan. Or if you're an ECW fan, you just remember them as Doc and Gordy. Doc. I should have. I knew it. I knew I should have tried uh fill that in. But let me share the link here and YouTube, please, and share the link in the chat. And when you folks are ready, I think my phone on here. Like I said, when y'all are ready, I will press play. Uh, in case I gotta take a little break or anything, that up and try to make sure that's there so I can do what I need to do. So whoa, actually this is okay. Do some math for me, people. Where's Stop for a second. So this is actually was telecasted on 6/27/1990. Dude, please don't laugh at me, people. I hear you laughing. Just because I work for an engineering company doesn't mean I'm a math whiz. Still need a calculator. So 30 this program aired 33 years ago. So, just looked up on this one, didn't I? So yeah, this took place on June 27th, or June 27th, 1992. I kind of rubbing my hands together. Cold. I'm a little chilly. I hear the thunder rolling. I do got my AC. I don't know if I did drop it to like best bet. Georgia Power love beat this one, or at least for today. Probably could have done here. I did the usual BS. The join me or chat with. Oh yeah, if you're not watching this live, you can also hit me up in the comments. uh, Everything. I just like to hear what people like to say, or I like to see what people got to say. That makes sense. Want that beer a little. He'll be at it. All right, we good to go now. All right, let's let her rip. I'll do a little countdown, and I'll say push play. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play now. Oh, look at there. We got Hall of Famer Ricky Steamboat there. We got Hall of Famer Paul Heyman there. We got who have come a executive after Bill Watts, Eric Bischoff standing right there. There's Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, and this is yes, that little promo took place right after the 30-minute Iron Man match between Steamboat and Rick Rude. Yeah, that's fine, Brian. That guy in the mask right there is Bad Street, portrayed by Brad Armstrong. Wish they could have done more with that with him. Yes, half a Heyman. That's when yeah, half a Heyman. Paul Heyman's or Paulie Dangerously Paul Heyman is twice that size. Hell, there's man, this is gonna be good right here because you got Jim Ross pretty much in his prime right here. Still good. You got Michael Hayes right there, one half of the US Tag Team Champions. And this is pretty much the last little leg of the Freebirds here with Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin. Did get me a cowboy hat like that. Yeah, that's another group right there. Was like the Dangerous Alliance at that time. put together. Steve Austin, Rick Rude, Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, and Larry Zbyszko. A pretty good group right there, but it's just part of it was you. There was like Jim Cornette would say, a wrestling recession. You had the scandals in WWF going on, the steroid scandal and the ring boy scandal. So, yeah, pro wrestling at this time was kind of, even though there was some good stuff at the time, nobody was watching it, which is pretty sad and unfortunate at that time. Obviously, WCW was owned by Ted Turner and their executives, so they, you know, jumped the gun on everything. And there's a let's see, he won. What's it? Doot doot doot. Michael Hayes. Doot doot doot. Steve Austin, he was probably what 2 years in the business right now. There's old jumping Joey Maggs. One half of the tag team with Ricky Lawless, the Heavy Metal Connection. But at this time, he was pretty much an enhancement talent wherever he went. Yeah, I was. No, I think I was still watching. Let's see, 92. Yeah, I was getting to where I was driving and in high school, a teenager. I catch it when I catch it, but and like Joe said, more into, let's just say women didn't, you can't go to a girl in high school and say, "Hey, you wanna come over and watch wrestling with me?" That wasn't gonna fly. Now you're probably gonna be kinda surprised by Austin right here because he's a little more of a technical, I mean, he has some brawling in him, but a little more technical stuff, side headlock, hammerlock, takedowns, stuff like that. Not the, stomping a mud hole drives into somebody, however he said it. Because remember, he was stunning at the time, not Stone Cold. And he was a television champion at that point. Looked like somebody must have misplaced the TV title because Paul Heyman was walking out. Looks like one of the either one of the 6-man belts or I think it's one of the 6-man belts. There's a stun gun. That was his finisher. So yeah, no stunner. He used a stun gun. Yeah, that's a yeah. Like I said, that don't look the TV title looks like maybe one of the 6-man belts they had at the time. I don't think they were barely using those. So somebody must have misplaced the TV title. Must have got lost in the lost at the airport or something. Okay, that music's got to go. It's like okay, it's 92. You need to get some more updated music. Even I thought so at the time. Thought, oh my gosh, this intro music sucks. Doot doot doot. Okay, I do remember watching this Clash of Champions though, and watching this match. So, long story short, some reason they thought they can revitalize NWA, so they did a tournament for the NWA uh, World Championship. But first, they did a tournament for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. They got all these international teams. Actually, first time I seen Dean and Joe Malenko was in this tournament. First time I seen Conan was in this tournament. But let's call a spade a spade. Doc and Gordy was a couple of Bill Watson's boys. I mean, Rick Steiner was to a point. I think there was some problems between Watts and Steiner. I mean, heaven forbid, Bill Watts thought Scott Steiner would be a great heel. Guess he was proven right years later. If you want to see some slobber knockers too, I mean, just Doc and Gordy in the match together, they had great feud in UWF, and they had a few matches in the National Wrestling Alliance as well. When after Jim Crockett bought UWF, that referee didn't see it. And see, this is like real crowd response too. I mean, it wasn't that loud as it used to be, but uh, even at this point, man, the fans are just getting into that, just calling every shot and everything else. I mean, no piped in bullshit, no whatever chance. And yes, that is Jim Ross and Jesse Ventura doing a commentary. That'll probably be the closest you'll see Rick Steiner do a suicide dive. Look at that sadistic man out there. And me being a fan of all four of these people at the time, it was hard for me. I didn't know who to cheer for. I mean, I know, yeah, Doc and Corey was supposed to be the heels, but yeah, I became a big fan of the Steiner brothers. Obviously, a fan of the Steve Williams and Terry Gordy. Oh, clip that knee again. And that people were probably very shocked at this. It's like, uh, people probably shocked that this was shown on TV at the time, and and for sure a lot of people probably thought, okay, this match is gonna be on TV. It's gonna be like a double count or something like that. But even I knew enough to understand that Bill Watts is in, especially Steve Williams. Steve Williams was his boy. Steve Williams trained, or Bill Watts trained Bill Watts. Or Bill Watts trained Dr. Death Steve Williams. Yeah, Doc and Gory for the W. And later on, they would actually Doc and Gordy would actually defeat Steiner because Steiners were the WCW Tag Team Champions as well at the time, and Steve Williams and Terry Gordy wound up beating uh, Steiner brothers for those tag team titles. I think Rick Steiner got an injury. Steve or Scott Steiner went singles a little bit, won the TV title briefly. Then they and kind of cheated a little bit, kind of have a heel tendency when he defeated Ricky Steamboat for that TV championship. But they wound up packing their bags, going to WWF. And they had a whole new tournament. Uh, Now this is probably the first time Larry Sabisco was a babyface since his rookie year, I think, because he had the rookie years where he was billed as Bruno Sammartino's protege, so that tells you how long that was. But mid-70s, I think, or something like that. So the rest of that time between WWF, AWA, Georgia, whatever, NWA Crockett's, then back to AWA, then now WCW. That's a long time for uh somebody be a heel, then all of a sudden, pretty much tail end his career right here, or his full time career as an in ring performer. He was a babyface. Pink Mask Avenger. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he got a little bit of a babyface push for a little bit, but he wasn't that good of a talker. Had a short run as a TV champion. Oddly enough, the person who beat him for that television champion was Steve Austin. Then weeks later, he wound up being, a stablemate of the Dangerous Alliance um, with Steve Austin. Doesn't look comfortable. Cat boy, I guess. Actually, that was a Doink the Clown's finish maneuver. Yeah, I think. I mean, if Bobby could talk, he could have been a really good baby. I mean, really good baby face. Because I think that was his natural persona, really. Because if you ever hear any shooting reviews or anything like that, nobody says anything bad about Bobby Eaton. Oh, there's that brainbuster. Yeah, it was kind of called a cruncher at the time, a little before that, because Barry Windham and Dustin Rhodes were tag team, and uh, basically, Larry shut the door on Barry Windham's hand, the angle breaking his hand, or crushed his hand. Yeah, he went from using pile driver, uh, net breaker. Now, tail in here, he's using a brain buster as a finisher. And yes, I do believe Larry Zbyszko wound up marrying Vern Gagne's daughter, Kathy. I think they're still married as well. That's a big dude. Big, bad dude. Mr. Unfuckwithable. As the stories I've heard goes, even the Steiners didn't mess with Ron Simmons. And Steiner's messed with everybody. Oh, Bob Cook, another story about him is he's got the best working punch in professional wrestling. Even now, he don't even wrestle anymore. And there's another guy. I wish I wish WCW been a little more patient. Bill Watts have been a little more kind of bullheaded because I've heard stuff I read stuff. I'm just going by what I read, of course, and from what Bill Watts said too. Um, Bill Watts was a little bullheaded at times. He would uh, oh, Bob Cook. Bob Cook. We're about to watch Bob Cook die. Yeah, Dune was pretty good, but man, if Bill Watts could have stayed on a little bit longer, uh, he had that first run with the WCW title at one time, first Black American to win the WC or win a world title, national recognized world championship in wrestling. Um, nice. I mean, he was over, but I think it could have got a little bit better promotion, especially from from Turner Broadcasting. I mean, Turner Broadcasting didn't want to help out either, supposedly. And from what Bill Watts was wanting to say, he just wanted to have like Ron Simmons sit with Hank Aaron during a Braves game, and that would have been very significant. The home run king Hank Aaron with probably at least one of the top guys of WCW, the wrestling promotion you own. That's a spot. I told you Bob Cook was going to die. Get me a pair of boots like Bob Cook though. The Adidas cowboy boots. But he was the one to take over after Bill Watts. Oh, nice. That would have been a pretty decent match at the time. Spoiler alert: Sting lost. But you can't deny, man, Sting was freaking popular at the time with the WCW audience. He would. Spoiler alert: he will lose to Vader. Let all the little stinkers down. Take that back. They had an international tournament too that had Conan and Rey Mysterio singing in and the Blinkos. So my bad. I kind of got that mixed up. It just popped in my head. I remember now. The Super Invader. Which is really Hercules Hernandez underneath that mask. Yep, it was on that pay-per-view. Powerbomb, fold them up, 1, 2, 3. Now watching him now in this match, I feel stupid not realizing that was Hercules Hernandez. I mean, he moves just like him every the way that, Hercules Hercules Hernandez would punch, throw elbows, and just moved around. I mean, feel stupid not realizing that was him, but I guess for some reason I thought Hercules was still in WWF. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, um, I know at one time, I think back in 80, well, let's see, 84, he was in Mid South as Wrestling 2's partner, Mr. Wrestling 3 or Mr. Wrestling 2, however they numbered him. Basically put on the red and black mask and call him Mr. Wrestling. Also, when he was in Mid Atlantic, he was partnered with Jody Hamilton, the assassin, as another assassin. So if the story is right about Harley Race, he drove like this. One hand on the wheel, another hand like this. There better be a cigarette here, a beer there. That's your job as a passenger. And of course, he was the kind of driver who would just, there's a gas pedal, it's going all the way to the floor, and it's not moving unless he really needs to stop. So at that point, it was, cigarette there, beer there. And of course, this was filmed in Center Stage in Atlanta. I don't know if they said that. And see, I mean, also look at this. I mean, you just had Hercules Hernandez, Super Invader. Look how jacked he is. Look how jacked Simmons is. Look how big Van Vader was, and look how big Sting was at the time. And Sting was going in that match with as an underdog anyway because Vader was bigger. Yes, driving all over God's green earth. The tailor-made man. He's trying his best just to shed that Red Rooster crap off of him. He even calls himself the tailor-made man at this point. Right before this, he was Terrence Taylor, a member of the York Foundation. So we got the Red Rooster versus Goldust. And that's kind of watching stuff like this and kind of remember how things were at the time. Makes you kind of wonder if maybe not Bill Watts, if Eric Bischoff didn't come into power and bring basically all the rock and wrestling, WWF guys in, like Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Nasty Boys. Was the Nasty Boys already? No, yeah, Nasty Boys might have been already here. But regardless, um, if eventually, business would pick back up and, you know, Dustin might have been a world champion, as Dustin Rhodes. Like he wasn't that world champion as Goldust. We wouldn't never seen Goldust. I mean, if we seen Goldust, it probably been somebody else. Oh yeah, I mean, look how agile freaking Sting was at that time. Even Dustin at this time. I mean, no, you didn't see like obviously you ain't seen a bunch of flips and moonsaults and corkscrews and springboard dives, but didn't need it at the time. But I will say, I mean, it did kind of suck at this time because one of the things Bill Watts did that I did not like as a fan when he said he banned the top rope moves. Because you still have Bobby Eaton, Flying Brian, Brad Armstrong, Tom Zink. But uh, I think that was kind of strategic thing he was trying to do. Is like, okay, let's because he you had Vader of all people coming off the top rope doing moonsaults. But I mean, Dustin, not like a big, I mean, tall guy, but not like ripped or anything. But in shape. But like I said, not too skinny or too um like muscle bound or anything. Oh my noggin! Scorpion death drop. Oh yeah, I mean, there you go. The big bulldog should be it. Here it comes. This is after the rhythm and blues tag team. Greg Valentine was with Honky Tonk Man. But yeah, I mean, I see that's kind. It was little things. Okay, notice right there. He obviously doing commentary, whatever. But a scene, a fellow babyface in trouble, and just ran to the ring. No entrance music. Nobody sitting there looking at the back, wait for the entrance music to go in. He just ran in there, took care of business. That's getting to be a pet peeve of mine for the last few years. Is seeing wait for the entrance music to play, see who's going to save whoever. Oh, Mike Graham. Not a dime. Not a dime. This match will draw not a dime. Not a dime. But yeah, Adam Cole looked, gosh, he looked rough. Leo Rush is just a freaking toothpick. In case you're wondering, this is a time where Ric Flair was in the WWF as well. So if I remember correctly, I think Mike Graham, uh, Ole Anderson, I think Assassin as well, maybe was helping out the power plant, which was their wrestling school. It's like they had this wrestling school there, but that didn't really have the vision of what they could have actually done with it. Of course, years later, look what WWE does. They got a power plant, and now they're kind of working with other promotions, AAA, TNA, and they got their own developmental territory, NXT. They actually did have a couple more developmental territories, Ohio Valley and um, Deep South. I think that's one of the things Bill Watts was going to do too. It was going to kind of do like a talent exchange slash developmental territory with Smoky Mountain. I think they had maybe in Georgia as well. I worked with like one of the independents in Georgia. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, see, at least Dustin, they put he worked like Memphis and USWA World Class there. Made a made a brief appearance when they was still in the studio, WTBS Studios. He was tag team partner with um, Kendall Windham as the Texas Broncos, but then he went, like I said, Wrestle Florida and his dad's uh, promotion, PWF. But yeah, wrestled Memphis, wrestled in Texas. Had a cup of coffee a little bit and WWF when his dad was there sporting the polka dots. Then came here, partnered and wrestled with Barry Windham and all that. So uh, that's something Watts should have done with Eric, his son Eric Watts. I mean, dude was tall, uh, a puppy with big paws. Uh, legit college athlete. But at the time, you had other wrestlers who hated Bill Watts. I mean, thing with like Mike Graham, Eddie Graham owned the Florida territory. Greg Gagne, Vern Gagne owned the territory, but at least they pushed their sons, but they didn't push them to be uh like Nick Goulis did with his son Wayne Goulis, or what was his name? But um but Watts needed to like go to the like a Smoky Mountain or maybe one of the independents in Georgia, and then still had Memphis. I think Jarrett still owned USWA. But I think that's what kind of hurt Eric Watts. Watts put him on national TV for he really had some good seasoning in him. But supposedly Eric Watts was he went he went he wasn't afraid to stick up for himself. Apparently there was a confrontation between him and Rick Rude, and Rick Rude's been synonymous being a legit tough guy too. And from what I heard, I don't know. Like I said, this is what I heard. That Watts got the better of it. See, that make look sense. They pushed him off, got right by the turnbuckle. Check it out. Saw him out. Ate the turnbuckle, sold it like you just got shot. No pun intended, sorry. And quickly hit that elbow, hook the leg. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he did. Cactus sack. Yeah, I mean, I've s- I've seen a few little interviews with Eric Watts, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure Bill Watts' as a dad he was a typical man's man type dad. Especially when you had a big kid like Eric Watts. But he had another son, Joel Watts, but he was more into the producing and stuff like that, and Bill Watts seemed to be okay with that. Eric was an athlete. Yeah, he was a big, tall dude. Here we go. Big Barry Windham. And man, Right? What was Barry? They said 6'5", 6'6", something like that. Man, just moved like Brad Armstrong, man. Just so smooth in the ring. Made it look easy. Knew how to sell. Knew how to come back. Knew how to be. I mean, at this point, he was man. Uh, he was definitely a seasoned veteran at this time. Worked as a heel, so he knew how to be a heel. Worked good as a heel, as a member of Four Horsemen. I would love to see more of that, the Widowmaker when he was in WWF, but, things happen. Things that he wasn't involved in either. But this is Barry Windham. I mean, like I said, 92, uh, filled out more. Remember when Barry Windham started as Blackjack Mulligan Jr., and, he was very skinny. About like his when his brother started, freaking beanpole. But something about Barry, he he learned how to work and very good worker, very good wrestler. Was shocked when he did turn heel when he first became a Four Horseman. Love watching his matches growing up. The Lone Wolf came in ninth. Yeah, yeah, that was awesome. Just I think he got started getting plagued by knee injuries at that time too. Should have had a run as WCW World Champion. Not sure why whose idea it was at the time. Now high sign be 2020 when I seen that, oh, they're bringing back the NWA title, and hopefully they just change WCW to back to NWA. But I was young, dumb, didn't understand things at the time. Barry Windham had the prettiest superplex. He does it usually. Yeah, I, that, that's smooth. That just that little bit right there, superplex, roll over, freaking just smooth as silk right there. They're gonna show it again. It just floats over it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Bob Orton superplex looked good. Scott Irwin, Super D, his superplex looked pretty good. But Yokota, Yokota, Nikita Kura, Nikita, Nikita ran out of razors. Ruben Thomas from Puerto Rico. Yokota, Nikita Kura. Now, Bill Goldberg's coming back, and I say that and saying that when Bill Goldberg was on his initial run with WCW, uh, being popular and undefeated and all that, think there were rumors that Nikita was thinking about, hey, maybe I got one more run left in me. He wasn't that old at the time. I think Nikita was probably in his 40s at the time. It's like, I can get back in shape. Maybe I can work with Bill Goldberg. But that was rumors at the time. Now, again, Nikita Koloff, one of those guys, power wrestler, not as jacked as he was when he first started, but still big, still had the power, and it had that freaking sickle. Took Ruben's head off. You're going to die to the Russian sickle. Okay, so this roster against, let's see, so far so you got had Terry Taylor, Greg Valentine, uh Simmons has got to go against Gunther, I think, or at least Simmons and Braun Breaker. Oh my gosh, talking about fucking impact. Like I said, like you said, Jim Ross would say slobber knocker or good old JR. So you're listening to good Jim Ross, not the character good old JR. And yes, that's one of the reasons that lady, that blonde hair lady right there. That's one of the reasons Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert should be in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, definitely Simmons against Braun Breaker. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Well, Lord Steven Regal, Realm Regal was he in WCW at the time? No, he wasn't there. God dang, Nikita. He just said, "Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way. Move, bitch." Um, uh, even though he's a bit shorter, Steiner against Scott Steiner against uh Chad Gable or I mean, no offense to New Day, would like to see the Steiner brothers just throw around the New Day around. Uh, and even though they're not my favorite tag team. Steiners against the War Raiders. Who's a SmackDown tag team champions? Oh, Street Profits. Uh, let's see. Doc and Gore. Well, Doc and Gore gets Street Profits. That might be pretty good. Street Profits versus War Raiders. Be good. We got 6 man. We got Ricky freaking Morton. Tracy Smothers. I hate that Young Pistols gimmick or that name change. It's like they could have kept the name Southern Boys. They could just, you know, not use the Confederate flag because this was '92. This is when that ban the Confederate flag thing started. You got Tom Zink there. You got Brian Pillman. You got Johnny B. Bad, Mark Miro. Oh man, Flying Brian against AJ Styles. How good would that be? Johnny B. Bad against Wild Man Mark Miro. Just man, Tracy Smothers was. Even though okay, you got Tracy Smothers there who was good. You got Ricky Morton. Everybody knows how great Ricky Morton as a babyface was. Um, Now he's being a heel. Was with the York Foundation. He got the Z Man. Now, mind you, people, the Z Man, Tom Zink, and Brian Pillman was considered small in '92. They was considered lightweight. They were in that lightweight division in '92. So long story short, so yeah, Bill Watts came in vice president, and for TV purposes, he promoted Ole Anderson as the senior referee because he knew all the rules, and behind the scenes though, but he wanted to have Ole in there be the referee and show the referees that had of time how to freaking do it. And I done mentioned before. I think at this time also Ole Anderson was helping with the power plant, helping especially the young talent here. Uh, they would they'll have their match and get behind find a monitor somewhere and like pick apart what they did wrong. Dwayne Bruce, he wound up being the head trainer, I guess, of the power plant. Trained Bill Goldberg, but he was an enhancement talent at the time, or he was always an enhancement talent. Uh, but technically sound still. Now I would have loved. I do remember hearing his interview on Dave Meltzer's Internet Radio. I guess at time, I guess now we'd call it a podcast, but it was just his radio show at the time, and they somebody downloaded it on the internet. But I would have loved to heard a shoot interview with the Z Man. Let's see. Obviously, either Scott Armstrong's injured or fired at this point, so they needed somebody else going there. And for a short time, Z Man and Brian Pillman were a pretty good tag team. They just couldn't get along with each other. Yeah, that's one thing I'm thinking. Either because remember Ricky Morton Robert Gibson wasn't working in WCW. If I remember correctly, Smoky Mountain had just started up in '92, right? And Robert Gibson was already working at Smoky Mountain. He wasn't contracted by WCW. Ricky Morton is still under contract. So was Tracy Smothers. I thought Steve Armstrong, because long story short, Tracy Smothers, Steve Armstrong, they were the Wild Eyed Southern Boys. And of course, being the Southern Boys, they had the Confederate flag on their uh, trunks and jacket, had the Civil War hat on, whatever. Uh, and of course, around 91, 92 is when that Roy Barnes in Georgia, Democrat, was trying to get, well, he was already governor, but he him and a few other politicians started that, Confederate flag racist, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, real world bullshit. So they WCW had the Southern Boys, and instead of saying, okay, we'll still call you the Southern Boys, but you gotta take the Confederate stuff off. Uh, they're like, oh, we'll say y'all both from Wyoming and call y'all the Young Pistols. Not good, because Jim Ross on commentary would always refer to, like Scott Armstrong. It's like, oh, here's Scott Armstrong, the second generation wrestler from Marietta, Georgia, son of Bob Armstrong. It's like, why y'all calling from Wyoming then, dumbasses? Of course, Tracy Smothers from Springfield, Tennessee. Yeah, miles and miles and miles away from Wyoming. But and what's so funny now? This wouldn't The Young Pistols wouldn't get over right now because he has 6 shooters on his gear, boots, and trunks. So that wouldn't got over. But they could still call them Southern Boys. That's not what the Confederate. Just take the Confederate off, and maybe it had like a map of the southern states or something like that. I don't know. But Tracy Smothers wound up did leave in WCW, go to Smoky Mountain, starting going by again the Wild Eyed Southern Boy, Tracy Smothers, waved this, Confederate flag, got cheered by, white and black people in Tennessee, and nobody cared. But Smoky Mountain wasn't a major company. Good company, good stuff, good product. Sometimes when you do watch is a little too much Jim Cornette, but yeah, 92 there were heels as well. Yeah, Firebreaker Chip and not Chris Champion, but Todd Champion. They call themselves the Patriots. And of course, Firebreaker Chip was Curtis Thompson. Again, this is getting to where they wanted to try to be kind of like, let's change everybody's name as well. Dude, the fans stuck in some Pillman, man. Oh, it's breaking down in Tulsa now. Oh, it's breaking down in Atlanta, baby. Oh, 6 men in the ring. Oh, we ain't fucking around. Yep. Now, he used to do a springboard clothesline called Air Pillman. I think he was the first person I ever did see. He probably wasn't the first, but the first person I seen do a springboard move. I see. Look at Ole in there. He's not just doing the crap. He's in there saying, "Look, you go." I'm pretty sure if it kind of escalated more, they would have brought more officials out. Up there's the man right there, or one of the men, Arn Anderson. See, he was still considered kind of a rookie at this point. Obviously, he's not Buff Bagwell yet. His mom, his mom was still shaving his nuts, his webos. Did y'all see? Did y'all see Mark or Buff Bagwell's talks out of the ring where uh what's his name, Spanky Johnson, whatever his name was, talked about that walking into his apartment, or, Bagwell's house and seeing Bagwell's mom shaving his webos. Yeah, supposedly Tracy could take care of herself too. I mean, with a name like Tracy, pretty sure he learned to take care of himself. Kind of like the Boy Named Sue song. See that? Now, if this was a AEW, he's been working on his side and his stomach a little bit. Mark Bagwell would have popped up, hip up, 20 flips, a couple of dives, swinging DDTs, and probably the shittiest drop kick you ever seen. But Bagwell had a pretty decent drop. He's still look at there, still give Bagwell a little bit of credit, still selling the, registering and selling the, spine buster, that's it. Count 'em out. Um, still sold the ribs, sold the midsection that it's been worked on, topping them up for that spine buster. And look, there no botches here, nice, smooth, rotation, bam, good. He's trying to hop over that leg, but who cares? Gives you, gives you another out. You got both legs kinda hooked up there, folded up. Nice, solid little promo. Not talking about everybody. See, he's not talking about other companies or anything like that. He is talking about his match. Uh, oh, over with already. But that was a quick hour and a half. I'll look at all of them, but hold on a second, let me get a drink here and talk for y'all for a few minutes. And this is the open segment, open chat segment. Comments, ask questions about anything, but I give me a little swig of water there. But yeah, yeah, solid show, a solid promo there. Wasn't about catchy little headlines or anything like that. Just straight to the point. Me, Houston, we got a match in Omni, non-title match. I don't freaking like it, but if I gotta beat you in a non-title match to get a title match, then by golly, I'm gonna do it. Wasn't like I said, a bunch of what was it? Kenny Omega was talking to the Young Bucks and said, "Oh yeah, I used to have a friend. His dog pooped in the house. Something like used to play video games. And, oh yeah, you Young Bucks are the dog poop. Yeah, that promo's gonna let me buy a ticket. Gonna convince me to watch next week. But yeah, solid show. Uh, man, this solid performers all the way around. Yeah, I mean, Crockett, NWA, WCW. Like I said, this sucked when you know uh, Turner took over. got the pizza guy in there with the ding dongs, and I never did see the Hunchback, but I guess that was just an idea. Yes, many a memories. But yeah, it's he's had some upcomers there. Sad about Brian Pillman is finally going to get that huge break right there when he went to the loose cannon, then that, you know, vehicle accident messed up his ankle. Uh, Z-Man, from what I hear, talented dude. I mean, go watch some Z-Man matches. Very good, athletic, but like I said, you had Brian Pillman, 6 foot even maybe, 6'1" maybe. Z-Man also 6'1", kinda 230, 240 range, considered small guys. Yep. I mean, even though times I didn't, like, watch weekly every week, I still kept up with it. I was never really lost when I went back and watched it. I kinda, like I said, I love watching this old stuff. Uh, Highly recommend some people watch this old stuff. I almost wanna say if you got a wrestling school and you got an indie promotion or something like that, and your students, this should be one of your classes one night. Do your cardio, do your exercises, do your practice bumps, and maybe one night a week, kinda do all that at, half of that, like cardio for an hour, cut down to 30 minutes and 30 minutes of bump taking. Then kinda just go back and kinda watch some of this old stuff, make your students kinda, like, write a report about it and kinda, you know, and really learn what made these people great, then watch the people now and be like, "You know what? This today's stuff is flashy, fancy, do I really care about Kenny Omega had a buddy he played video games with, who had a dog that pooped on the floor? No, not really, but, yeah, I always bought the magazines. Magazines was good. Yeah, I try to keep it because I like variety. Um, Especially like in music or let's talk music. I'm a hard rock fan. I can't, like, just listen to straight Metallica. I gotta have Megadeth. I gotta go with maybe the glam metal stuff, like Poison Crew and stuff like that. Guns N' Roses. That's kinda like Welsh wrestling. It's like, okay, you got the Hollywood WWE stuff or WWF at the time, WCW trying to not be regional. Wish they kinda sorta did that, but maybe they maybe they would've been better for the long run. Uh, some of the if you can find it, some of the Georgia independents at the time, uh, North Georgia Wrestling Alliance, Georgia All-Star or Southern Georgia Wrestling from Georgia. Because like I said, I used to watch that Superstars of Wrestling, loved it all. It was a good variety of everything. But once that kinda, uh, went by the wayside, even though I knew Memphis was still going, didn't get to watch it. But yeah, I think 90 I think 'cause I know they went from 69, there was a channel called, I forgot what the call numbers were, but it's like channel 14 or something like that. They're on there for a little bit, then, you know, all the syndicated people started buying stations, and they really, tune into the or show the Home Shopping Network or, um, whatever televangelist going on. But, yeah, it was a good time. And like I said, I mean, I watched WWE. watch AEW sporadically. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm just a little turned off by AEW right now. So, but I'll still follow. Sometimes somebody comes up. AEW's gotten to a point if I don't like them, no matter who, I'll probably just flip it somewhere or flip it to YouTube, whatever. Then I mean, it's easier now to do that since it's been played on Max, which kind of watch Max. The first two times I tried to watch it on Max live, it was very glitchy. It could be just my internet, I don't know. But um, I would like to watch TNA more. I don't have uh, Access TV. I think that's what it's called. I think they gonna have. I think they have a streaming channel. They might have to pay very little for ads or something like that. Might look into that later. Not right now. Um, what else? I did well, I haven't checked it out yet, but I did see it on there. One night I just kind of looked for some background noise and I turned on the Tubi app and that's how I watch something. But just see it evolve there, and I was like, well, kind of really doing something, so I can't really have my complete focus. Didn't watch it, but yeah, like I said, back in those good old days, you just had some good variety there. But like I said, once everything kind of started getting swallowed up, UWF got swallowed up, AWA, um, eh, had Global. Global was okay, but something about it was not good. Still don't understand why Joe Pensino decided to run a sportatorium in Dallas for this promotion and not Atlanta. But I must be because of WCW. Could be they want to try and have another major company in Atlanta. Uh, Still, it's like, dude, uh, one of the other surrounding states. But I digress on that. Or kind of stay kept independent, sort of, and first you could have found a suitable building to hold your Global Wrestling Federation tapings. That wasn't under the thumb of, or wasn't under exclusive contract to WCW TV. Yeah, I wanted to watch more NXT, but like I said, I haven't really been not a fan, not really a fan of TNA or NXT. I get it, but I do like watching some of my local independents. I really go to those shows because it's pretty fun. Some of them are ran really good. At all. Anyway, like I said, I was going to kind of keep this part of it a little brief. It's getting by that time. My tummy's growling. Ready to fix me something to eat. Go to sleep. Definitely don't want to go to sleep here. That will be that'll be kind of embarrassing because who's snoring? A chainsaw. But yeah. Anyway, appreciate everybody who tuned in for the YouTube or Facebook Live. Appreciate everybody who joined me in the chats on YouTube. Like I said, uh, next Thursday, Great American Bash. I'll put the date up of the show or the Great American Bash show, but it was 86. I think it was. I think it. I know. I read the main event was Flair, Dusty in a cage, so I think it's that night that people left home happy because they love Dusty Rhodes. I don't want to spoil it too much, but pretty sure you can figure it out. But I don't want to say, yeah, this is the night that happened because I didn't really watch it. But yeah, but like I said, I did find it. Hit me up in the DMs on my Facebook. Uh, or if you have my number, those you actually have my number or email. Uh, and people you personally know would like to join in for this live watch along of Great American Bash '86 in Greensboro, I believe. Uh, again, DM me their uh, email address. I'll send it to them, I'll send a link to the live stream as well when I get that set up. Try to do it by try to do it by Wednesday. Um, because Thursday is probably gonna be a busy day at work. Uh, want to get kind of ready and everything before 8 o'clock. Ready, ready to roll with it. So I think it's gonna be kind of I think it's a kind of long show as well, a little over 2 hours. So I gotta get myself prepped up for that. Yeah, if you know other people, like I said, we're just gonna hang out, watch this Great American Bash '86, and chit chat about it. Have some fun before the Independence Day weekend festivities begin. I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna have their cookouts and stuff like that. That's the other reason I knew, let's not have a live stream on that Friday because I know I'll be at a cookout. Everybody's be cooking out, shooting fireworks. Uh, so let's everybody have enjoy the Independence Day holiday. But anyway, that does it for me this week. You folks have a good one. Take it easy, and until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.
Ronald Ray here saying thank you for checking out my video. If you don't mind, go ahead and click that thumbs up button, leave a comment, and share this video with family and friends. I would also appreciate it if you would subscribe to RP2 Vision, where I cover the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. Now don't forget to click the notification bell as well, so you'll be notified when my other weekly content is available, like Wrestling Trivia Tuesday, WWE Raw Recap, and AEW Dynamite Recap. I also have 2 live streams. Every Thursday at 8 p.m., it's Spot Show Live Stream, where I discuss the latest news in professional wrestling. And on Friday nights at 8 o'clock p.m., it's Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where I discuss the good old days of professional wrestling. When wrestling was wrestling, wrestling was real because it's still real to us. Folks, have a good one and take it easy.